Hi. So in this video, we'll discuss something which I like to call the recommendation matrix. So usually in a P&L case, what we find is that there's a broad initial objective, which is just that the company is facing a decline in profits of certain magnitude, and we want to help the company out in trying to ameliorate the situation. In such a scenario, when we solve the case, we are usually able to identify that one core issue, which is driving, let us say, 80% of the problem. But when we start making the final recommendation, it's usually difficult to generate 3 or 4 points just out of that one recommendation, right? So we can use this cool matrix to actually come up with a lot of recommendation points. Now, before we actually get into making the final recommendation, I think there's an intermediate step that a lot of people miss out and should be always considered. Once you have identified the core issue, and before you start making the recommendation, it's prudent to actually start understanding what the company has done till date to work around the issues that have been identified. So let us say that you have identified that the production costs have increased over the last year and a half, and that is our core issue. You might want to take a second to understand whether the company has done anything till now to actually change that situation, or whether the environment, the other companies, your competitors are doing something different in their case. Once you have a clearer understanding of these elements, only then would your recommendations would be more forceful. Otherwise, you might end up recommending things which are not very relevant. All right. So now let's get to the recommendation matrix. So as you can see, it's a simple 2x2 matrix, and on the y-axis I have short run and long run, and on the x-axis I have the core and the peripheral. Now, our main, usually when we are solving the case, we end up restricting ourselves to the top left corner, which is core short run. Now, what do I mean by core? Core basically is that one issue that we've identified which is driving 80% of the problem. In this case, it might be, let us say, the production costs are problematic. But if our objective overall is to increase the profitability, we might actually look at peripheral issues also, which might increase, or rather increase the profitability or decrease the loss in profitability. So let us take the case of, let's say, a oil manufacturing company, a edible oil manufacturing company, and they are facing losses for the past couple of years, and we find out that the main issue for that is that their production costs have increased. But at the same time, we find that their packaging costs are also not very efficient. Okay, so the core issue that is driving most of the problem has to be addressed first, and so we'll figure out what are the short-term core issue related remedies that we can suggest. Now, you can come up with 2 or 3 points here. If you want, you can now look at the long run remedies associated with the increase in production cost. Okay. Similarly, on the peripheral side, let us say that your packaging costs were not very efficient. You could look at what the competitors are doing, and you might want to shift your packaging to a model that they adopt. That might be a long run or short term strategy that you can also consider. So with this 2x2 matrix, you can easily come up with a lot of points which can help you deliver a stronger recommendation. Though usually we just want to give 3 maximum 4 points to any problem, this can help you get more points if you are stuck. Alright, I hope you found this video useful. Keep looking forward to this channel for more videos in the coming few days. Thank you.